Hello everyone. Today, we are embarking on a comprehensive and deep journey into the world of one of the quietest yet most profoundly influential figures in professional financial circles, Linda Bradford Raschke. We are diving into her over 40 years of trading experience and her unshakable philosophy rooted in the naked truth of price action. In this podcast episode, you won't just hear a success story. You will learn the finest technical details of how Raschke, regarded in the professional trading world not as a guru, but as a master craftsman, views the market as a totality of rhythm and discipline. Linda Raschke is in a completely different league from the social media influencers or those promising miracle systems we are accustomed to today. Her approach is a reflection of patience, discipline, and the reality that price stands above everything else, rather than loud claims. Raschke's trading journey began far from modern screens, on the old exchange floors where seconds and human psychology collided. This beginning provided her with the most fundamental reflex she would carry throughout her life. What is the market telling you? This question is the heart of her entire technical analysis approach. For Linda Raschke, technical analysis is fundamentally different from the classic indicator trader mentality. For her, technical analysis is not a signal-generating machine, but a professional compass used to read market behavior. In her world, the price-first rule is a non-negotiable backbone. While many traders get caught up in the magic of indicators and forget the price itself, Raschke reminds us at every opportunity that price is the fastest source of information. According to her, every indicator is merely a lagged derivative of price. Therefore, one first looks at what the price is doing, and technical tools are used only to confirm this situation. Technical analysis for her is not about predicting the future, but a tool for correctly diagnosing the current situation. For this reason, she finds the question, "Does this indicator work?" completely meaningless. Instead, she centers the question, "What is the market doing right now?" This perspective transforms technical analysis from a static model into a living filter. Linda never makes claims like, "If this happens, it will definitely rise," or "If this crosses, it will guaranteed fall." In her approach, the technical structure only defines the environment of probability, and the trade itself is managed according to the market's reaction at that moment. At this point, we need to look at the 310 Oscillator tool, which is identified with her, with a much deeper technical eye. While most traders use such tools as a mechanical buy-sell signal, for Raschke, this is a momentum indicator and a tool for understanding the market's rhythm. The 310 Oscillator actually consists of the difference between two different moving averages. The difference between a 3-period simple moving average and a 10-period simple moving average gives us the histogram, while the 16-period average of this difference provides the signal line. However, beyond the numbers, the real task of this tool for Raschke is to see the equilibrium point in the market and when momentum has become overextended. The market never moves in a straight line. It breathes, stops, accelerates, and slows down. This oscillator makes momentum changes, the breathing of the market, visible. But the real mastery lies in harmonizing this momentum data with the story of the price. If momentum is weakening, but the price still stands strong, or if pullbacks remain in a symmetrical structure, Raschke performs a contextual reading here. The concept of trend also goes far beyond classic definitions when passed through her filter. Simply having higher highs and higher lows is not enough for her. She defines a trend as a behavior showing continuity. How many days in a row the close has been in the same direction, how healthy the pullbacks are, and to what extent momentum supports the price are her most critical filters. In her technical discipline, the probability of a trend continuing is always higher than the probability of a reversal, and this is the most basic but most forgotten principle of Dow theory. It is no coincidence that she is one of the first names that come to mind when swing trading is mentioned. The idea of a 2 to 3 day cycle or rhythm she took from George Douglas Taylor has turned into a living system in Raschke's hands. This structure we call the Taylor cycle allows us to understand the short-term oscillations of the market. Linda reads the market in a 3-stage rhythm here: buy day, sell day, and short sell day. This cycle is essentially based on the market's natural oscillation mechanism. A buy day is usually a structure where the previous day's low is tested, and the market reacts upward. However, these days are not mechanical rules. They are an effort to understand the liquidity and volatility character of the market at that moment. When the market breaks this rhythm, it is actually giving you a much larger signal. Swing trading for her is not about trading every day, but being ready to pull the trigger when the market presents this rhythm. One of the most vital concepts in Raschke's technical analysis is tape reading. In modern times, we call this price action, but for her, this concept is much deeper. Tape reading asks, is the market giving the expected reaction? Regardless of news, data, or setups, the real truth is the market's reaction to them. If the price does not fall despite bad news, this is a massive show of strength. If the price struggles to rise despite all positive data, there is weakness and a distribution process there. This perspective is the basis of her discretionary edge. There are some specific setups famous in Linda's technical world that solidify her philosophy. For example, the turtle soup strategy targets points where the market hunts for liquidity by making false breakouts. While many traders excitedly enter the game when a resistance is broken, Raschke reads the probability of that breakout failing from the speed of the price reversal. The violation of a previous 20-bar high or low, followed immediately by the price returning within the old band, is a trap for her, and she turns this trap into profit alongside the professionals. Or, in her strategy called the Holy Grail, she sees the first pullback to the 20-period exponential moving average, accompanied by a strong ADX indicator, as the safest opportunity. Because according to her, strong momentum does not die easily, and the first pause is usually the harbinger of a new wave. What is critical here is that the ADX is above 30, showing us how hungry the trend is. She also positions the use of multiple time frames as a filter, not just to get more signals, but to avoid trading at the wrong time. She determines the main trend in daily and weekly structures, but moves down to intraday structures to execute the trade. The goal here is to avoid erroneous and risky trades against the major trend. However, the real secret that has kept Linda Raschke in the market for decades is her combination of this technical infrastructure with unshakable risk management and psychological discipline. In her system, risk management is not a patch added to the strategy later. On the contrary, it is the first and most important condition of a setup. She says, if the risk cannot be defined, there is no trade. She has no expectation of a 100% correct trade. There is a small statistical edge, the constant repetition of this edge, and iron discipline. Protecting capital with small stops and average gains is the only way to long-term stability. The discipline of not trading, which most traders lack, is one of her greatest weapons. She views staying flat, waiting without a position when appropriate conditions do not form, as an active decision. She is a professional who does her preparation hours before the market opens every morning, never compromising on the discipline of nightly homework. Every day after the market closes, she examines all her charts one by one, creates her game plan for the next day, and writes this plan on paper. When the market opens, she no longer performs analysis. She simply executes her plan. Psychologically, she knows that a trader's greatest enemy is not the market, but their own impatience and ego. The market does not owe her anything, and being right does not make money. She advocates that the important thing is to stay alive. Being able to accept a mistake and exit a position in seconds is the peak of her professionalism. While many traders fall in love with an idea and produce excuses when the price goes the other way, Linda treats the "you are wrong" message from the price as an order and manages to keep her emotions out of the business. The reason her principles are still valid, even in this age of algorithms, is that they are based on the unchanging essence of the market: fear, greed, and liquidity flow. She uses indicators only to train her eye. Her main focus is always the raw movement of price. Even today, this quiet legend who is at her screen with the same discipline without breaking her daily routine proves to us that trading is a marathon, not a sprint. Success is not about solving the most complex formulas. It is about adapting to the rhythm of price, being able to see a mistake early and walk away from the table, and being able to fearlessly pull the trigger when the right opportunity arrives. The legacy Linda Bradford Raschke leaves us is to listen to the price, keep risks small at all times, be patient, and never forget that the market is bigger than we are. She has shown us that being successful in the market is not a race of intelligence but a test of character. When you see technical levels not as dogmas but as breaking points of market psychology, charts will no longer consist of just lines. They will transform into a meaningful narrative that lives, breathes, and offers you opportunities. Remember, Being right in the market does not earn you a medal. Only being in the right direction at the right time makes you money. Raschke's 40-year journey is the most brilliant proof of this truth in financial history. When you learn to hear the voice of the market, you will also notice the pure music within that noise. In this podcast episode, we are coming to the end of our journey into Linda Raschke's technical world. Her discipline, patience, and price-focused approach are the keys not only to being a successful trader, but also to surviving within the market chaos. When creating your own trading plan, as Linda says, always ask what the price is doing first, and use indicators only to confirm this story. Remember, the best trade is usually the one you waited for the most. When you integrate this deep technical analysis and philosophy into your own trading life, the markets will no longer be an enemy, but an ally moving with you. Thank you for listening and for your time. If these kinds of professional trading strategies and the world of legendary traders interest you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. In the next episode, we will continue to read the rhythm of price and discover the secret language of the markets together. I wish you profitable and, most importantly, disciplined trades. See you soon.